New Miles Monday, we'll go miles on this ride. New Miles Monday, with some miles on the side.
I'm getting some B-flat clarinets ready for somebody to demo tomorrow, and as I was selecting my top 6 for the various features that she wanted, I noticed 5 of the 6 actually all have one feature, and that is this lever right here. I would call that the A-flat, E-flat lever, though I have seen many different ways to call that. Some are okay, some I think are a little confusing. But personally, I would call that the A-flat, E-flat lever, and you hear it abbreviated to E-flat lever once in a while. I've always found it a little weird that we call it by the note with the register key instead of the note without the register key when we're shortening it, but that seems to be common, and honestly, it's not confusing. I know exactly what lever people are talking about. If they say the E-flat lever, I know they're going to be talking about that one right there. So it's not the worst thing in the world. Even if it's what Bakun in their model numbers, for instance, this one right here, this is just an old shipping box. I don't think this is the actual clarinet that I received or anything, but so here's a good example of their model numbers, Bakun, clarinet, and the key of B-flat, Q series, grenadilla. Then after the hyphen, you've got silver keys. That G is going to be gold post. And then that very last E, when there's an E at the end of a Bakun model number for clarinets, it is that's going to mean it has an E-flat lever. So the A-flat, E-flat lever, or E-flat lever for short. But I know there's lots of different ways to call it out there, and I'm wondering maybe you call it something completely different. One thing I don't like, I've seen a few times, E-flat, A-flat lever. I never like saying the note with the register key before the note without the register key. I think we should always start, if we're going to give it 2-letter names, we should start with the note name that doesn't have the register key, and then a little slash, and then saying the note that is with the register key if we're going to call it 2 things. But yeah, I was just getting these instruments ready, and I just noticed 5 of the 6 had this lever. So if you're curious, the various instruments are, we've got a couple awesome Royal Global instruments here. We've got the Classic Limited and the Polaris. Then we've got the Fox 5800, and then I got 3 different flavors of Bakun Q series, some demo models, pretty good deals on these. We've got silver keys, gold posts, and the A-flat, E-flat lever. We've got Cocobolo for the body, gold everything, and the A-flat, E-flat lever. And then the last one is just kind of a standard model. I think it's a good starting point when trying out instruments. It is a straight ahead grenadilla, everything silver, no lever, Bakun Q series demo model. So yeah, these are the 6. Hopefully she can find something that works for her out of these. I think she will. And I got a room full of more clarinets. If none of these are the winner, we'll go on to round 2. But I suspect something out of these 6 will be the best one for her. So if you had a clarinet with the A-flat, E-flat lever and you didn't want it on there, my first advice would be give it a try. Try it for a little bit. If you absolutely hate it, yeah, okay, no problem, take it off. But so many people, I think, see this and they're like, well, I'm not used to that, so I'm not going to use it. I want it off of there. It's like, man, that is a nice lever. It's just so convenient to never have to hip-hop your fingers most of the time, where without it, you would have to. I mean, anything going to the A-flat, E-flat lever there, or the A-flat, E-flat key, if you didn't have that lever, you don't have a left-hand choice for how to activate that key. So I would recommend giving it a try. But if you absolutely hate it, you need it off the instrument for some reason, it's pretty easy to do. So I'm going to start out just by removing its rod, its screw rod, I guess is its technical term, but it's just the long screw that's holding that lever in there. I'm going to loosen that. All right, when it's fully loose, sometimes you can grab it with your fingers, but that can be really hard to do. So I like to grab it with just some smooth jaw pliers. My absolute favorite is the Knipex pliers wrench. This is the duckbill version. There's the standard version, but boy, this is a great tool. I love how adjustable it is. It's parallel action, so it's going to apply equal pressure on whatever you're gripping, and smooth jaws, right? No teeth on these, non-serrated jaw. So that's a really nice item to have. If you don't have this, just any kind of pliers will be fine as long as it's smooth jaw. Okay, just for simple taking this out in and out once or twice, that's not going to be a big deal. So pretty easy to extract it when you got the right tool for that. I got that out, and sometimes you can kind of wiggle it, finagle it out without trying to get other stuff off. I really don't want to bend anything, though. I would recommend doing this next extra step just to make things a little easier on yourself. You do want to take off both of the other levers that are going to be in line here. So we need to take off the F sharp, C sharp lever, and the EB lever as well. It's exactly the same process as it is for taking off the A flat, E flat lever. So we're going to take 3 off at once, and then we're going to put 2 back on at once. Okay, so all 3 will kind of pop off together, extract the lever we don't want anymore. For safekeeping, I'll usually take its rod, put it right through its hinge tube like that, so it'll all remain together, and then I'd wrap that up in a little bag and put it somewhere very, very safe where I won't forget where it went. And to get the levers back on, I definitely recommend trying to put them both on at the same time. If you want an extra challenge, do it while you're being recorded and not bumping your head on the phone that's doing the recording right above your forehead. All while staying in frame, too. Okay, so they're pushed in pretty much as far as they will go. I'm going to grab my screwdriver and very carefully tighten it the rest of the way. And I like to go, I find this to be a good rule of thumb for these levers, go as tight as it'll go and then back maybe 1/8 to 1/4 of a turn. That's as tight as it wants to go. Back up just a little bit. Check it. Make sure everything's moving nice and freely, and it is. And your clarinet's back together. You can do everything a clarinet should be able to do. The only thing you won't be able to do is play your A flat, E flat key with your left pinky because we just extracted that lever.
New miles Monday, we'll go miles on this ride. New miles Monday, with some miles on the side.